Welcome, everyone, to this festive episode of Somewhat Supernatural. I am your host with the ghost, the prince of the paranormal, the dean of the deceased. What else? The ghost daddy himself, the one and only Lord Scuba Cabra. And it's been a while since I've done an episode, but today we're going to be diving deep into the enchanting world of Christmas legends from various corners of the globe. So grab a cup of cocoa, cozy up by the fire. Join me as we unwrap stories of Krampus, which we discussed last season around Christmas time. But I'm just gonna touch base because how can you not talk about Krampus during Christmas time? Also, I'm gonna butcher this, but it's Mary Lude, which is some weird horse thing that we're gonna talk about. La Bafana, Babushka, Pershta, the Tomten, Belschnickel, Per Fortard, Grilla, the Yule Lads, and the Yule Cat. We're going to be covering all of that in this episode of Somewhat Supernatural. And like I said, I know it's been a while since I've done an episode, but I figured I got a wild hair, and I said, you know what? Let's do an episode of Somewhat Supernatural. It is Christmas time, so I just noticed right now that everything is very choppy on my stream right now. I am watching it. Well, the audio's fine. The audio's fine. The video's choppy, but the audio is fine. That's all that matters, is that the audio is fine. Let's go ahead and go to my that's why the comments aren't coming up, guys. The comments aren't coming up because it was not on public. And the comments should be popping up here in the chat. There we go. What's going on, Kaylee? How's it going? Also, what's going on, Joseph and Nina? What's going on, Nina Cochina? Yes, a Lord Scuba Cabra. You know, like Chupacabra, but Scuba Cabra. That's what I go by on my podcast. So, like I said, it's been a while since I've done an episode. Life just kind of caught up with me and having a new baby and everything. It's really hard to get some stream time in. And I know the fiance is dying for her stream time too. She's at work right now. And when she's not working, she has the baby. When she is, luckily, my son's home. He wanted to take care of the baby, so I'm able to do this. So let's start this podcast with a figure that might send shivers down your spine. Krampus, the horned half-goat, half-demon from Alpine folklore. Originating in Central European countries like Austria and Germany, Krampus accompanies St. Nicholas on the night of December 5th, which already passed, punishing naughty children while Saint Nick rewards the nice ones. So Krampus is a legendary figure, like I said, from Central European folklore. He walks around with Santa and does, the bad deeds that Santa won't do to those little evil kids. You know what I mean? Or not evil kids, but the little kids that are dickheads. You know what I'm saying? So he's often depicted as a horned anthropomorphic creature with goat-like features. He has hooves, a long pointed tongue, and sharp, intimidating horns that curl on his head. I used to have this Krampus mask that I used to wear, but we're not talking about that right now. This is a whole different podcast. His body is covered in fur, and he carries chains that he thrashes to create a menacing sound. In some representations, Krampus is depicted carrying a basket or sack to cart away misbehaving children, whipping ass with birch branches. Hell yeah, Richard. That's what I'm talking about. So his role in tradition. So in the Alpine regions, particularly Austria, Germany, Hungary, Slovenia, and the Czech Republic, Krampus is part of the centuries-old tradition of Krampusnacht, or Krampus Night. This event typically takes place on the night of December 5th, preceding the feast of St. Nicholas on December 6th. On Krampusnacht, people dress up as Krampus and roam the streets, participating in parades and festivities. The idea is that while St. Nicholas rewards the good children with gifts and treats, Krampus serves as the contrasting figure who punishes the naughty ones. The dual celebration embodies the age-old struggle between good and evil. So according to the folklore, like I said, Krampus would accompany St. Nick on his rounds. So the punishment would range from a stern warning, don't do it again, to more severe acts such as swatting the naughty children with his birch branches or even carrying them away in his sack to an uncertain fate. The chains Krampus carries are often symbolic, representing the binding or restraining of the misbehaving children. That's devious. That's devious. But what better way to get your kids to listen to you than to create a demon that will take your little ass away? Back then they had Krampus. Now we got Elf on the shelf. Granted, the elf ain't gonna, drag you into the underworld or wherever Krampus took you. But now picture this, okay? Like I said, I'm gonna butcher the name. It's a skeletal horse draped in a white sheet that parades through Welsh villages, ushering in the Merrylude, or the Christmas zombie horse. Now, oh, I forgot. I have pictures of this thing. So let's check this out. So, oh, wrong one. Let me bring this up real quick. Everybody knows what Krampus looks like, but we still gonna look at a picture of Krampus. All right. So here we go. There's Krampus right there. Of course, everybody knows what Krampus looks like. Nobody's surprised that, oh my God, he's this weird demonesque thing. But look at this. Look at this skeletal horse. Okay. It's a zombie horse, essentially. Zombie horse. So this ancient Welsh tradition involves a group carrying the Merrylude door to door, engaging in poetic battles with homeowners for entry and festive cheer. They are rap battling. They are rap battling during Christmas time back in the day. But look at this. That is utterly terrifying. I would shit a brick. I would shit a brick. So the Merrylude, which translates to Grey Mare in English, is a Welsh winter tradition that dates back centuries. This unique and ancient custom involves the use of a decorated horse skull mounted on a pole or a stick, draped with a white sheet or cloth. Merrylude is often accompanied by a group of people known as the Merrylude Party, who engage in a form of door-to-door ritual known as plagging. And I'm probably fucking the name up, like I said. I'm probably fucking the name up because let's be honest, I'm not, it's not my culture. But I mean, if I saw that at my door, exactly, Richard. Death rode a pale horse. That's what I would think Death's horse looks like. So the exact origins of Merrylude are somewhat obscure, but it's believed to have pre-Christian roots, possibly originating in pagan winter rituals that later evolved into that incorporated Christian elements. The tradition is most closely associated with folk customs of Wales and is particularly prevalent in southern parts of the country. So the appearances and ritual. The central element of Merrylude is the horse skull, which is often adorned with colorful ribbons, flowers, and other decorative elements. The sheet or cloth that covers the horse cascades down to conceal the person carrying it, creating the appearance of a spectral horse. Sometimes the participants in the Merrylude procession wear costumes and carry traditional instruments such as the accordion or the harp. The Merrylude party, led by someone carrying the horse skull, approaches homes and public houses during the plagging ritual. Plagging is a Welsh tradition involving a Christmas morning service, but the Merrylude custom is associated with nighttime visits during the 12 days of Christmas, especially around New Year's Eve. At each house, the Merrylude party engages in a form of poetic exchange with the residents, involving singing and challenges. The occupants of the house respond in kind, creating a back and forth banter that can be humorous and entertaining. The exchange often ends with an invitation for the Merrylude party to enter the home for refreshments. That sounds awesome. This is the kind of thing that my friends and I would do. This is the kind of things my friends and I should do because this is freaking awesome. So the Merrylude tradition is rich in symbolism representing the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The horse skull itself is a powerful symbol associated with strength and vanity, and the winter setting of the tradition aligns with themes of darkness and the eventual return of light associated with the turning of the year. While the Merrylude experienced a decline in popularity during the 20th century, efforts to revive and sustain this cultural tradition have been successful in recent years. Communities and enthusiasts in Wales and beyond have embraced Merrylude as a unique and vibrant aspect of Welsh folklore. Celebrating its historic roots and cultural significance, the tradition continues to be performed during the winter season, contributing to the preservation of Wales' rich cultural heritage. That I think I have a little bit of Welsh DNA in me. Not sure, but this is awesome. How is this not a thing? Especially for us that want to keep Halloween going year round. Like, this is awesome. That's all I'm saying. This is an awesome tradition. It's an awesome look. It's creepy as shit. And like I said, if I didn't know about this and this showed up to my house wanting to rap battle me, I would probably piss myself. You know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna travel south to Italy, where we encounter La Befana, the kindly old witch who flies on her broomstick to deliver gifts to children on Epiphany Eve. Legend has it that she refused to join the wise men on their journey, which we have another story similar to this, but in Russian, and we'll get to it right after this one. Uh, so she refused to join the wise men on their journey to visit the baby Jesus and now seeks the child Christ in hopes of finding him. La Befana is a legendary figure in Italian folklore, and her story is closely associated with the celebration of the Epiphany, which takes place on January 6th. Known as the Christmas Witch or Epiphany Witch, La Befana is a beloved character who plays a significant role in Italian holiday traditions, and this little lady right here is La Befana. I wouldn't, she looks very nice. Very, very nice right there. So the origins of La Befana can be traced back to ancient Italian folklore and pagan customs. The character is often linked to various winter solstice celebrations and fertility rituals that predate Christianity. Over time, La Befana's story became intertwined with Christian narratives, as a lot of this stuff does. Specifically, the story of the three wise men or magi who visited the baby Jesus in Bethlehem. So, my grandma does not give us Christmas presents. She gives us presents on the day that the three wise men arrived to baby Jesus. That's when we get our Christmas presents. She doesn't give them to us on Christmas. We wait until the three kings. Well, and I don't even know what day that is. I don't remember. Even after all these years of her giving us the presents that day, I still don't remember the day. But so, like I said, it goes back to Italian folklore. Over time, her story did, get intertwined with Christian narratives. But I mean, look at this jolly old lady. How can you not want to see her? She looks very nice to me. So, the most popular version of the legend involves La Befana as an old woman who lives in a very small village. And according to the story, the three wise men, also known as the Magi, the three kings, stopped at her house while on their journey to find the newborn Jesus. They asked her for directions to Bethlehem and invited her to join them on their quest. Initially, La Befana declined the invitation and she was too busy doing household chores. However, after the three wise men left, she had a change of heart and decided to follow them, bringing along gifts for baby Jesus. Unfortunately, she was unable to find them and has been searching ever since. On the night of January 5th, La Befana is said to fly on her broomstick, entering homes through the chimney, very similar to Santa. She leaves gifts and treats for well-behaved children and a lump of coal or dark candy for those who have misbehaved. It is believed that she continued her quest to find the Christ child, and every year she leaves small gifts in hope that one of the children she visits might be the baby Jesus. In Italy, the night of January 5th, known as La Notte della Befana, Night of the Befana, families often celebrate with festive events, parades, and gatherings. Children leave stockings or shoes out for La Befana to fill with gifts. In some regions, there are even reenactments of the Befana's arrival in town squares. La Befana is not just celebrated in Italy, Her story and traditions have become popular in other countries with Italian communities, making her a symbol of generosity and the spirit of giving during the holiday seasons. She took a wrong turn and ended up in Robstown. I guess you could say that. So now we're going to head east from Italy to Russia, where we meet Babushka, a character from Russian folklore. Babushka is said to regret not joining the Magi on their quest. As penance, she wanders through the land, delivering gifts to children in hopes of finding the baby Jesus. Sounds similar? Sounds very similar to La Befana, right? Right? And this is what she looks like. That is her right there. So much like La Befana, Babushka is a legendary figure in Russian folklore whose story is often associated with Christmas season. The name Babushka translates to grandmother or old woman in Russian, and she is sometimes referred to as Babushka, the giver or Grandmother Frost. The most well-known version of Babushka legend is often told as a poignant and heartwarming tale. According to the story, Babushka once again was an elderly woman who lived in a small village, but this time in Russia. She was known for her tidy and welcoming home. So, one night, as Babushka was sitting by the fire, she heard a knock on the door, and guess who was there? The three kings. She brought them into her home, offered them shelter and warmth, and she gave them food and a place to rest. The wise men explained to her the purpose of their journey to find the newborn king and present him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They invited Babushka to join, but she declined because why? Because she needed to tend to her household. Very much the same exact story that we get with La Befana. So it's weird. It's weird that it's basically the same story, just a different region of the world. Um, she also regretted not following them, realizing the significance of the event. She decided to catch up with the travelers and bring gifts for the baby Jesus. She loaded her arms with toys, sweets, and other presents, intending to find the child and make amends for not joining the wise men. However, despite her best efforts, Babushka never caught up with the Magi or found the baby Jesus. As a result, she continues her quest to this day, visiting homes during the Christmas season, leaving gifts for children in hopes that one day one of them might be sweet little baby Jesus. So the legend of Babushka has become an integral part of Russian Christmas traditions. In some regions, especially in Orthodox Christian communities, the story is reenacted in Christmas plays and performances. Babushka's story also carries a moral lesson about the importance of recognizing and seizing opportunities for kindness and generosity. In various adaptations of the legend, Babushka is portrayed as a figure who regrets not embracing the chance to meet the baby Jesus and share in the joy of his birth. So, very much like La Befana, Babushka has the same story. So, who knows where the story originated first? I didn't find any of that information, but Steve said her house was jacked up. Richard says they weren't sluts or unkempt women. No, they weren't. So, now let's delve into the frosty landscapes of the Alps and learn about the Perchta, a Germanic goddess associated with the 12 Nights of Christmas. Depending on the region, Perchta could be a beautiful, radiant figure or a haggard old woman. She rewards good behavior and punishes lazy and untidiness. Do I have a picture of her? I think it's this one. Let me see. This is her right here. This is Perchta. Let me zoom in real quick. That is Perchta right there. Perchta, also known as Birchta or Perched, is a mythological figure in Alpine folklore, particularly in the regions of Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. She's often associated with the winter seasons and is considered a prominent character in pre-Christian traditions of the Alps. The name Perchta is thought to be derived from Old High German word berat, meaning bright or shining. The Blair Witch from the Project, something like that. So Perchta is typically depicted as a female figure, often with two faces, one beautiful and the other kind, or one beautiful and kind, the other ugly and sinister. In some traditions, she is described as having a humanoid appearance, while others she is depicted more supernatural or otherworldly features. Perchta is often associated with the Wild Hunt, a spectral procession of the supernatural in European folklore. Perchta is most closely connected with the winter solstice and the 12 nights of Christmas, which span from December 25th to January 6th. These nights are considered magical and liminal time when the veil between the spiritual and physical worlds is believed to be thin. During this period, it is said that Perchta roams the countryside, rewarding the virtuous and punishing the wicked. She is particularly concerned with the cleanliness and orderliness of households. She'd hate it here. She would hate it here. Good behavior, especially in terms of cleanliness and adherence to traditional customs, is rewarded with gifts and blessings, while laziness and untidiness may result in punishment. One aspect of Perchta's legend involves her interest in spinning. It is said that she visits homes during the 12 nights to inspect the spinning done by the women of the household. Those who have diligently spun their flax are rewarded with silver coins, while those who have neglected their work may find their spindles broken or their flax tangled. In some regions, the tradition of wearing masks during winter festivals is associated with Perchta. People would don elaborate masks resembling Perchta's dual-faced visage, participating in processions and celebrating that symbolized the struggle between winter and spring, light and darkness. Despite the Christianization of many European cultures, the folklore surrounding Perchta has persisted in various forms. In some regions, her legend has evolved and merged with other figures or traditions, demonstrating the resilience and adaptability of folklore over time. Today, Perchta remains a fascinating and enigmatic figure in the rich tapestry of Alpine mythology. Let me see what Steve said. She wasn't spinning when she was doing the washing machine. Yeah, Selena, no, no. So now let's go to the icy landscapes of Scandinavia, where the Tomten, a small bearded creature, resides. This benevolent spirit is known for protecting farms and animals, especially during the winter months. Farmers leave out offerings for the Tomten to ensure a bountiful harvest. Now, check this out. You want to see what the Tomten looks like? Because he's a gnome. That's all he is. He is, where is he at? David the Gnome. That is a Tomten right there. Or a Duende for those of you that listen to my Duende episode. So the Tomten is typically depicted as a small elderly man with a long white beard wearing traditional Scandinavian clothing, including a pointed hat and often gray or brown clothing. While sometimes portrayed as a friendly and benevolent, the Tomten can also be mischievous or even protective depending on the context of the story. The Tomten is believed to be a guardian spirit or household spirit that watches over a farm or homestead. In traditional folklore, the Tomten is said to reside in the barn or a hidden corner of the house, venturing out at night to oversee the well-being of property, animals, and inhabitants. Farmers and families would leave offerings for the Tomten to ensure its goodwill. These offerings often included a bowl of porridge with butter. Oh, I love porridge. It's so good. Which the Tomten was believed to appreciate. However, the creature is known to be somewhat temperamental, and if it felt slighted or disrespected, it could play tricks or bring misfortune. Despite its sometimes mischievous nature, the Tomten was generally seen as a benevolent protector of the household. In some tales, the creature would even assist with farm chores or offer guidance, especially during the Christmas season. How's it going, Jacob? The Tomten has a strong tie to Christmas in the Scandinavian cultures. In some traditions, it is believed that the Tomten would deliver gifts or small presents to children on Christmas Eve. The idea of the Tomten as a Christmas gift bringer is similar to other folklore figures like, who else? Santa Claus. The Tomten's association with Christmas is reflected in various cultural expressions, including literature, art, and holiday decorations. Today, you might find representations of the Tomten in Christmas cards, ornaments, or other festive items in Nordic countries. The Tomten remains a beloved figure in Scandinavian folklore, and its stories have been passed down through many, many, many generations. In modern times, the character has been featured in literature and adapted into various forms of media. The Tomten continues to be an enduring symbol of the winter season and the magical aspects of rural life in Scandinavia. So, there you have it. He's a gnome. He's a gnome. That's David the Gnome right there, for those of you that are old enough to remember David the Gnome. But now we're heading across the Atlantic to Pennsylvania Dutch country, where we meet Belschnickel, a crotchety figure who punishes naughty children with switches or lumps of coal. Now let me find this picture of Belschnickel. Belschnickel is this one. Wait, is it this one or this one? I think it's this one. No, it's this one. There is a lot of whipping going on. There's a lot of whipping going on during Christmas time back in the old days. So Belsnickel's name comes from the German word Belsen, meaning to wallop, and nickel, a name for St. Nicholas. Belschnickel is a character from German folklore, particularly associated with Christmas traditions of the Pennsylvania Dutch in the United States. The name Belschnickel is derived from the German word Pels, meaning fur, and nickel, a variant of Nicholas, who roughly translate to Nicholas in furs. Is that one or is it this one? They're very similar. No, it's this one. It's got to be this one. Uh, Belschnickel is often portrayed as disheveled fur-clad figure with a long coat or cloak made of animal pelts. He may wear a mask or disguise his face with soot. This character is distinct from the more commonly known Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus, as Belschnickel is often portrayed as a stricter, more disciplinary figure. In Pennsylvania Dutch communities, Belschnickel is believed to visit homes in the weeks leading up to Christmas. His purpose is to check the behavior of children and determine whether they have been well behaved throughout the year. Belschnickel is known to carry a switch or a bundle of twigs, and his approach is somewhat stern. If children have been good, Belschnickel may reward them with small treats or gifts. However, if they have been naughty or disobedient, he may play pranks on them or lightly swat them with his switch. The intention is to encourage good behavior and discipline among the children in the community. The Belschnickel tradition has its roots in German folklore and was brought to the United States by German immigrants, particularly those in Pennsylvania. Over time, the character has become part of the unique blend of customs that make up Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas celebrations. In popular culture, Belschnickel gained recognition beyond its regional origins. The character has been featured in various forms of media, including literature, film, and television. Notably, Belschnickel makes an appearance in the American version of the TV show The Office, where the character Dwight Schrute assumes the role of Belschnickel during a Christmas celebration. I remember that episode. In some Pennsylvania Dutch communities, the tradition of Belschnickel is still observed with local events, parades, or reenactments featuring the character. The Belschnickel figure serves as a reminder of the diverse cultural influences that have shaped American holiday traditions. So now we're going back across. We're going to go even more west from where we are right now. And we're going to go to France, where we encounter Pierre Fouettard, St. Nicholas's companion with a darker side. And that's this one right here. All right. There's another little thing I was going to bring up, but I ain't going to do it on this podcast. It's you can Google it yourself. So legend has it that Pierre Fouettard is a butcher who kidnapped and killed 3 boys, only to be miraculously revived by St. Nicholas. Now he serves as a reminder of the consequences of his wrongdoing. Pierre Fouettard, also known as Whipping Father or Father Whipper, is a figure from French folklore who is often associated with St. Nick and the Christmas season. The character has variations in different regions of France and other parts of Europe, but he is generally depicted as a dark and sinister counterpart to St. Nicholas. Now, I think that is a little bit more terrifying than the legend of Krampus. Because while Krampus does take the kids, it never says he kills the kids. It never says that Krampus takes these kids and kills them. Does he whip them? Yeah. Does he take them to some unknown place? Yes, he does. But this dude killed 3 kids and Santa brought him back to life. What kind of crap is that? What is that? Jeez. I just, that blows my mind. So, like I said, it varies from region to region. Um, but a common thread in many versions involve a butcher who lures children to his shop and kills them. In other versions, he's an innkeeper responsible for murdering 3 boys. In either case, St. Nicholas intervenes, either resurrecting the children or preventing their murder. Oh, he resurrected the children. I took that wrong. I thought he resurrected Mr. Whipper, Mr. Pierre, or whatever the fuck his name is. Pere Fouettard. As a form of penance for his crimes, he becomes the companion of St. Nicholas. In this role, he is tasked with punishing naughty children, contrasting with St. Nicholas, who rewards the well-behaved ones. On the night of December 5th or 6th, depending on the region, during the feast of St. Nicholas and Pierre Fouettard visit homes while St. Nicholas rewards children with treats and all the goodies. Pierre, I don't know how to say it, carries a whip or a rod, symbolizing punishment for misbehaving children. In some versions, He might threaten to whip or spank the naughty children, while in others, he might leave a twig or a piece of coal at their shoes. The character has variations in different regions or countries. For example, in parts of eastern France and Belgium, he is known as Père Fouettard, while in other areas, he may have different names such as Hans Trapp. Despite regional differences, the character generally plays a similar role as the dark counterpart to jolly old Saint Nick. He represents the duality of good and evil, and his presence in Christmas traditions serve as a reminder to children to behave well. Yeah, behave well because this dude killed 3 kids and Santa had to bring him back to life. I want to see that movie. I want to see that Christmas movie. You know, John, I didn't know I was rocking an episode until I got home today. So, but yeah, I want to see that movie where this dude, it's like old times. This dude murks 3 kids, and then Santa brings those 3 kids back to life, and then he has to be Santa's bitch and like not try to freaking kill the kids, just punish them. And like every time he's about to kill a kid, Santa's like, you can't do that. In contemporary celebrations, especially in the context of local festivals, parades, or processions, Pierre Fouettard might be portrayed as a character in costume, sometimes wearing dark clothing and carrying a whip. The character contributes to the rich tapestry of Christmas folklore in various European cultures. So now our journey takes us to the mystical landscapes of Iceland, where Grilla, a fearsome giantess, resides. Let's see. Where's my picture of Grilla? Oh, here she is. Look at this. Look at this evil bitch. Look at that. That is horrifying. This is a Christmas thing. That thing is Christmas. So Grilla is a fearsome figure in Icelandic folklore known as a giantess and ogress. She is a central character in the Christmas mythology of Iceland and is often portrayed as a terrifying and monstrous creature. Well, no shit. Grilla is said to reside in the mountains of Iceland, particularly in a cave, and her legend has been passed down through generations, becoming an integral part of Icelandic culture. Iceland's doing some crazy shit, man. I mean, damn. That's all I'm going to say. Grilla is typically depicted as a massive, grotesque figure with an intimidating presence. Descriptions of her appearance vary, but she's commonly portrayed as having horns on her head, which this one has her horns there. I just noticed them. And a long, tattered robe. Her physical features are often exaggerated to emphasize her frightening nature. I know she got a wiener nose. She's got a big old dick nose right there. So Grilla is not just a fearsome creature for the sake of it, though. She has a specific role in Icelandic folklore, particularly during the Christmas season. According to tradition, Grilla is associated with the darker side of the holidays, and her primary focus is on misbehaving children. Legend has it that Grilla descends from her mountain dwelling during Christmas season, especially in the weeks leading up to Christmas Eve. That is a Baba Yaga right there. One of the most prominent aspects of Grilla's mythology is her reputation as a child-eating ogress. According to the stories, Grilla comes down from the mountains to search for naughty children. It is said that she kidnaps misbehaving kids, takes them to her cave, and cooks them in a large cauldron to make stew. That is fucked. That is so messed up. Iceland, what are you doing to your kids? I mean, I guess you did good because, I mean, isn't like the crime rate the lowest in Iceland or some shit? So, hey, good job. Good job. So, Grilla is often depicted as the mother of the Yule Lads, a group of mischievous figures in Icelandic folklore who are said to visit homes during the Christmas season. The Yule Lads, who have their own distinct personalities and behaviors, are believed to be the offspring of Grilla and her husband. I can't even pronounce that because it's got a whole bunch of squiggly shit over it. It's Lepoli. I can't spell it. Leppal. U with the squiggly over it, some weird thing that looks like a backwards 6 with a line through it, and then an I. I don't know how to pronounce that. Grilla's legend is deeply ingrained in Icelandic culture, and her story has been passed down through generations. The tradition of Grilla and the Yule Lads is still celebrated in Iceland today with various events, performances, and depictions of these characters during the holiday season. So, speaking of the Yule Lads, these 13 brothers, 13 from Icelandic folklore, are known for their pranks and mischief. Each Yule lad has his unique antics, from stealing sausages to slamming doors. He's a sausage stealer. They leave small gifts in shoes of well behaved children, but play tricks on those who misbehave. And these are the Yule lads. They're very jolly looking guys. They look nothing like there's their mom and their dad in the back. You see, there's Grilla and there's we're just going to call him Leopold. They're that guy right there in the back. And these are their children. And they are nothing like their parents. The Yule lads, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the Icelandic pronunciation, are a group of mischievous figures in Icelandic folklore. They are the offspring of the ogress Grilla and her husband. The Yule lads are known for their unique personalities and antics and play a significant role in Icelandic Christmas traditions. Traditionally, there are 13 Yule lads, and each one has his own distinct characteristics and behavior. They are said to visit the homes in the 13 nights leading up to Christmas, starting December 12th and continuing until December 24th. Children leave their shoes out, and the Yule lads either leave gifts for well-behaved children or prank the other ones. So here are the names and some of the characteristics of the 13 Yule lads. Okay, so I cannot pronounce the Icelandic pronunciations of these guys. So I'm just doing the translated version. So the first one is Sheepcoat Clod. He harasses sheep. There is Gullygawk. He hides in gullies waiting to sneak into the cowshed and steal milk. There's Stubby, a short lad who steals pans to eat the crusts left in them. Spoonlicker, who, guess what? He licks spoons. There is Pot Scraper. He steals the leftover from the pots. Bowl Licker. He hides under the beds waiting to steal bowls left unattended. Door Slammer. Guess what he does? Guess what he does? He slams doors. That's right. Skyr Gobbler has a particular fondness for Icelandic skyr, a dairy product. Sausage Swiper, it's what I used to call my first ex-wife, hides in the rafters and snatches sausage left to smoke. Hey, just like my first ex-wife. Window Peeper peeks through windows to see what he can steal. Doorway Sniffer, he has a keen sense of smell and sniffs out Lofbrod, a traditional Icelandic flatbread. Meat Hook uses a hook to snatch meat. Candle Stealer follows children to steal their candles. So that is all 13 of the Yule lads, and like I said, I can't pronounce their real names. This is like Bjunkreik, Glugurgir. Yeah, I can't even. Like I said, there's a lot of squiggly stuff that I can't do it. Can't do it. So the Yule lads have become beloved characters in Icelandic folklore, and their stories are often passed down through generations. In modern times, the tradition is celebrated with various events, decorations, and portrayals in festive displays. The Yule lads contribute to the unique and enchanting aspect of Icelandic Christmas traditions. So finally, we're going to round off our journey with another one from Icelandic folklore known as the Yule Cat. This giant feline is said to roam the countryside during Christmas, targeting those who haven't received new clothes. To avoid the Yule Cat's wrath, Icelanders make sure to don new garments before the holiday arrives. That's kind of shitty. Like, hey man, I can't afford to buy new clothes, but this giant cat's gonna come and eat my ass. There's the cat right there with the Yule lads, because he is their pet. I know, bro. Stealing shit, eating shit that they shouldn't eat, and now they got a giant cat that's gonna eat people who can't afford new clothes. The Yule Cat, also known as Jalakuturin in Icelandic, I fucked that up horribly, is a mythical creature from Icelandic folklore associated with Christmas traditions. Unlike the friendly and mischievous Yule lads, the cat is portrayed as a fearsome and imposing figure with a rather dark legend. The Yule Cat is said to be a giant and menacing cat that roams the Icelandic countryside during the Christmas season. And if you didn't get no new clothes, like I said, you're screwed. So according to the folklore, it was believed that those who worked hard and finished their chores before Christmas would be rewarded with new clothes. Those who did not receive new clothing, however, were at risk of being targeted by the Yule Cat. The cat would allegedly visit homes on Christmas Eve, and if it found individuals with without new clothes, it would eat them. This cat would just straight up just eat people. The Yule Cat's legend is often seen as a symbolic expression of the importance of hard work and the value placed on receiving new clothes as a reward for one's efforts. Like, I get it. I do, because back in the day they want you to finish your chores. So you got to scare them somehow. So I get it. Uh, the story served as a way to encourage productivity and diligence, particularly in the context of rural life and the challenges faced during winter. So while the Yule Cat is not widely known outside of Iceland, it is an intriguing part of Icelandic Christmas folklore. The legend has persisted over the years, and the Yule Cat is still referenced in modern Icelandic culture, appearing in literature, art, and holiday decorations. In contemporary times, the Yule Cat is often portrayed in a less menacing and more whimsical manner in various festive displays and decorations. Um, it has become part of the unique tapestry of Icelandic Christmas traditions, adding a touch of both mystery and cultural significance to the holiday season. It still blows my mind, though, that they have a cat, just a giant cat. Oh, you want to see what the cat looks like? Here we go. That's the Yule Cat right there. That giant monstrosity is peeping in your house in Iceland just to make sure you got new clothes. If you didn't get new clothes, guess what? You're a damn cat treat. You are a damn cat treat. That's all you are right there. So, and there you have it, my dear listeners, a whirlwind tour through some of the most captivating and diverse Christmas legends from around the world. From the eerie Krampus to the mischievous Yule lads, these stories add a unique flavor to the holiday season. As always, thank you for joining me on Somewhat Supernatural, and I am wishing you a magical and folklore filled holiday season. Until next time, stay spooky.